So this is the tank today. We've got a divider in here still because of the yellow tang. There you can see they can clearly get over the black long nose tang, and the hybrid powder blue still kind of beats up on the yellow, but we'll give it a little more time and it'll be there won't be any issue eventually. I still got a yellow tang and a purple tang to put in, but after the reset, we're getting almost there. We've added the trio of Japanese yellow masked angels. We've added a trio of Watanabe angels and a trio of Bellis angels, along with a multi-bar angel lately, and a pair of blotched antheus to the tank. So yeah, minus a few wrasses and a few other, maybe a couple gobies and things like that, we're just about full on the tank, which means, and shortly I will then be elevating the tank back up to normal salinity. So I've kept this tank down here I've kept the tank salinity down at 1.015 and sometimes dipping it down to 0.009 just to fight off any ick or anything. And I mean, if you look at the black tangs, they're all ick free. And as I'm introducing fish, I've been keeping it down at this salinity to ward off any issues, outbreaks of anything from tangs fighting as they are introduced and everything. So so far it's worked out pretty well. We've had very little death because of it and things. I do, like I said, I still have a pair of a yellow tang and a purple tang over in the top thing. They're still kind of growing out. These are both aquacultured tangs, and they're a little small right now, but they're getting there. And then I've got some corals that'll be ready to go when I bring the salinity back up. But you know, all in all, fish are all happy. The tank looks a lot less full when the gate's not here. When the fish are able to spread out, they all are so interested in getting over to the other side that they congregate down at this side. But when I'm in front of the tank, they all want to be fed. So yeah, we've got all four of the powder style tangs, or four of the powder tangs in there. The Achilles, we've got a hybrid Achilles right there, and we've got a hybrid powder blue, and this little small powder brown. He's kind of the meaner of the ones. The clown tang, the big clown tang. He's been actually almost an A model citizen in this tank. I don't know, but I decided to put in the angels, the ones that are a little more reef safe, just to break up all the tangs a little bit. I have found that when I had the other tank, or I had the other set up with the big angels, the tangs didn't seem to squabble as much, and I'm hoping with the 9 large angels and all the dwarf angels in here, because there's probably 8-10 dwarf angels now in here, that we won't have any. We reduce the squabbling between the tangs. The gem tang, a Model A citizen. The black tang seems to be aggressive when I first put fish in, but as soon as they get used to the tank, and that they're going to be in there, then they settle down. So, but so yeah, that's the way the tank's doing. I've made some changes to the filtration. I'm going to, I run, the nitrates are a little bit high right now, which it's a little hard to test because I don't think the nitrate testers are meant for this lower salinity of the tank. So this is a yellow Scopus tang, Japanese, I think it's Japanese or somewhere over in that area. But yeah, Scopus tang. I've got the blotched Anthias in there. Like I said, there's a Benini wrasse in here. He usually is, right there he is, hanging out, along with the two Jehudi wrasses. And then a Royal Pencil wrasse is in there too. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna add a sulfur reactor to bring down the nitrates from all this, because I dump a lot of food in this tank, which is what seems to keep the fish happy, and not too much to fatten them up, but just to keep them happy and less squabbling about food and things like that. I feed typically 3 to 4 times a day. I feed them. But yes, we're going to add the nitrate reactor to deal with the waste and everything else in the tank that that goes. They seem to be kind of like the bio pellets. They seem to be out of fad, but I know Andrew Saunders seems to still run a sulfur reactor on his big tank with all his fish. And because this is a 530 gallon tank and I have a lot of big fish, I'm going to implement that in my tank also. So, but yeah, everybody is healthy and happy, minus the little bit of squabbling as I've introduced the new yellow Scopus tang in here. But it'll get there. And I don't have any trouble with the powder style tangs or the surgeon style tangs. They chase each other, but I think it's more not chasing like tearing up fins, but more like two dogs running in the backyard chasing each other for fun or stuff like that. So that's what I see. You know, no fins are being nipped at and picked on and stuff, but the tank is we're almost there. I'm pretty excited to get the last. I do have that 40 breeder sitting straight back there, that any other fish that'll come in will go into hyposalinity in that tank before they will be introduced into this tank. So when I get this tank up to normal salinity, I will use the 40 breeder for the hyposalinity in the back. So, but yeah, this is where we sit today, and I'm pretty excited. Tank's looking real clean today. Did a little bit of work on it this morning, and it'll be cleaner even tomorrow, more cleaner tomorrow. It's still filtering out some of I stirred up the gravel, and it's still filtering out some of that. So tomorrow would be like crystal clear. So, but I thought I would kind of give an update. We're moving towards a LPS style tank. There might be some SPS in here, but feather dusters and LPS and elegance corals and things like that. So that was the switch that I had to make from having the big large angels to this tank that is less prone to picking on corals, because the majestic and the blue-faced angel and even the gold angel would pick on those corals. The regal angel I had didn't do it as much. So but those the three big ones were the ones that basically the only thing that they would leave alone was torch corals because of the stinging. But hammers and frog spawn elegance corals, they would still pick on all those. So we had to make it. I had to make a decision after having them for like 7 or 8 years. It was time to change it up a little bit, like everybody in the reefing likes to do. And I decided to now set it up to do LPS corals. I like LPS a little bit over SPS. There's some SPS I like. So in the future, we will probably be another 2 or 3 months of keeping it this low and maybe finding the other few fish that I want. But after that, I will probably start to raise the salinity back up to allow me to start adding corals. And I've got some Christmas tree rocks and some other feather dusters over there that will probably be some of the first ones to go into the tank. So yeah. But that's where we sit today. I thought I'd give you an overview or an update on the tank and let you kind of see all the fish are doing well. Like I said, the gate will eventually be out of there. It's just there. I usually flip it up so that this is up, like straight up, so it's at the water's top when I first introduce them, and then after the fish kind of get to see each other, then there's a hole for the smaller fish to do it. I'm not worried about the small fish. They can swim back and forth. They're not the ones that usually pick on other fish. But the bigger tangs and stuff like that, when I first introduce them, and then as they get closer, I drop this down. The powder blue, who usually is kind of a butthead, he has already swam over on the other side with the yellow, and the yellow actually had swam over onto this side over here, and the black tang picked on him a little some, and so he swam back over. But eventually they'll get used to each other. I can tell you, if you've got like tangs and you want to be able to introduce tangs one by one, having this gate or sectioning off a corner of the tank is probably the better way to let them see each other and introduce them one at a time. I've introduced basically all the powders and all of the gem, the powder, the black tang, the yellow scopus, the purple, and the yellow will all be introduced the same way. And they usually go one at a time. They'll stay over on this end of the tank, claim that end, and then all the rest of the tanks will claim over on this side of the tank, the 8 feet over there. And then eventually the guy over here will start swimming over to that side a little bit more. They usually start off in this structure, and the other tangs will give leeway to them, and then eventually they're down there. I mean, the Achilles is the same way. You can see him. He was down only here for about a month and a half, and then started working his way to the other side, and now he swims the whole tank, and the powder blue doesn't beat him up, doesn't try to kill him or anything like that. So I found this way works really well for me when introducing the tank. See, there's the Achilles over there, the hybrid Achilles is over there, and the powder blue, and he's just swimming with nobody chasing him. So this is a good way. I designed it always to have this, be able to put this gate in when I did the rock structure. So always planning, when you plan your tank design, I always try to plan with this ability to be able to put a piece of egg crate in to help section off the tank if I need to. And it also allows me to help catch fish. All I have to do is push them down to this one end and then drop the gate on them. And this rock structure is totally disassembled. I can totally disassemble this rock structure and I can catch the fish out of the tank. Now, maybe small angels or wrasses is harder, but big angels and big tangs I can catch without too much trouble down here. So I thought I'd give you just an update, and I'll sign off of this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.